Part of EMS Week is celebrating everyday heroes, and I've got Brooke, and I wish I had Aaron Ray, because Brooke and Aaron, throughout your precepting process, had an innovative and never performed before project in Orange County that took care of our homeless population. You guys have done amazing things out of the kindness of your own hearts and out of the money out of your own pocket. And it's touched the hearts of not only myself, but the chief, our social services department, and it is starting to really grow and become something great. And that is truly amazing from someone who's an everyday hero here. Brooke, I wanted to ask you, how did you guys start, and how did this idea come to you?
Well, it started December 1st of 2010, and the original thing is homeless people call us all the time. They're, and you don't want to deal with them. You get burnt out, and, 1 minute they're calling because they're drunk or they want a clean place to stay. So it was kind of like a group effort of, we've kind of become callous from dealing with them all the time, but they are humans. And so we started around Christmas, because we got to thinking, more at Christmas you see them sleeping on the benches, and Erin Ray had done something a while back. She would get them hot or blankets when they were cold, and so we kind of played off of that and started giving them hand warmers and just stuff that would keep them warm. And the first day, which was December 1st, we actually gave this guy who was selling newspapers, those bad boys that are on sale for over half off right now. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So we gave it to this guy who was selling newspapers at Hillsboro. And after that, Aaron always picks on me because I cry. I started crying, and it kind of went from there. And we've actually noticed that there's been a decrease in homeless calls just because we go there and we take time, not necessarily buy them something, but just, human interaction where it's living.
Yes, there's something that Aaron had created, or I'm not sure if you guys created this together, but it's sort of a homeless person contact sheet.
We do.
So tell us a little bit about that and how that's going to help.
So it's a normal sheet, and eventually we'd like to get it into the Zoll program, but it's got their name, their birth date, their allergies, any pertinent history, because if you go to them, you don't deal with them on a one-on-one basis. So eventually you'll have their picture with it, and you'll have all their information. It's also got their personal contact information. If, say, they go into cardiac arrest or something to where we can't get that information, that we can look it up on the computer system, and it says, okay, here's their...
And did you get a lot of buy-in from that population? Were they excited about that, or did they agree to that?
There is one thing to be said about homeless people. If they don't want to be found, then they're not going to be found. It's very hard for them to trust you. So it took a little bit of time, but now that we've gained rapport, most of them are pretty big on it, because they do feel like a human again. I mean, you'd be surprised if you just stood on the side of the street how, standing there in normal uniform, how people treat you differently.
So I've seen things that you guys have done, such as give them toothbrushes and buy toothpaste for them, blankets that you've either bought out of your own money or you've brought from your own homes. You deliver water, you deliver just basic necessities. You've even taken care of a homeless man's dog.
With Kaiser.
Yeah. And you've learned, I think you guys have, what you've expressed to me is that you've learned that these people have stories, and that many of these people, they didn't plan to be homeless. And I've even, from speaking with Aaron, you're taking this even farther with helping place homeless people, victims of domestic violence. And some of the things that you guys are doing it's really innovative, very grassroots, and it really tells me that you guys are everyday heroes. And from our department's behalf to you guys, we want to say thank you. We want to say that we want you to keep up this good work, and that we're committed for the rest of the department. Anybody who's willing to pitch in and help, we say more power to you. This project is going to continue to grow. So this project is going outside of our department into other departments. You've started a foundation?
We're working on a foundation, which was what I was sending out an email. So eventually, this is way, I tend to be a dreamer, but eventually it's going to be, we're actually working with social services. I'm working with the director over homeless, and also working with a guy who kind of works on the streets to place these homeless people. So it's opened up a lot of avenues, and we're actually starting a foundation to where eventually it's all going to be into one. You can have battered women, you can have children who are misplaced, domestic, like we're talking about, and homeless people, and it's going to end up rehabilitating them to where instead of taking from the workforce, they actually contribute. So we'll eventually have housing, detox, and one of the big things that I'm working on right now as far as getting medical care, because as we all know, they tend to burden the healthcare system. So instead of them going to the hospital if they need an albuterol treatment, hopefully eventually we'll be working through a medical director to where we'll have a area like this to where they can come in, paramedics can treat them with albuterol, and it actually saves Colorado is actually doing a lot of it, which I'm getting feedback from Colorado on doing that, and it actually saves the healthcare system over 70%.
Wow,
So.
wow. I mean, and the last thing I wanted to talk about is that you and Aaron and your partners, come on in, Doug, your partners, you are all committed to this, and you have seen things that other medics in our system haven't seen. Like you've been to their base camps.
Mm-hmm.
You've actually seen where these folks are living and conducting their daily life, and you have made a connection that I in my 15 years of EMS, I've never quite seen that kind of connection being made. You know when people are having a bad day, or when people are not just becoming a burden to the system, but they're really in serious crisis, like one of our frequent flyer patients that you and Aaron were communicating with each other, and it's really impressive to me to watch two separate ambulances provide 365 coverage for these folks, and it's really impressive. And I think the system owes you guys a debt of gratitude as well for decreasing some of the frequent flyer responses that we've had just by making that connection. So again, thank you. Thank you for your buy-in, and thank you guys for all that you do.
Hi, Kaiser.
Yeah, no. It got cold. Yeah. It got cold. You know?
Say hi, Richard.
Hi. You kept me warm, you know? That's